What's going on, guys? This is John from Texas Wiles.
Rooster from Rooster Outdoors.
And you are listening to the Wiley Rooster Boys Outdoor Podcast.
What's up, everybody? We got Rooster again. So today's going to be a little bit different. As you notice, I'm by myself. Everything's good. All Texas Wiles, this we've said from the beginning, this doesn't pay the bills. And sometimes things in life come up, So he's had to skip an episode or two. He's got to take care of a few things. Just to ease everybody's mind, he's just fine. Everything's going good. Just got a couple things he's got to take care of. And then he'll be back. We'll be back to normal schedule. You read the title, you can also tell we're a week behind now. So last week was supposed to be episode 4, and talking about, life comes at you. Mr. Mike Slauson, everybody's heard him. He's a great guy. He's in the medical field. He was supposed to join us last weekend. Well, so happened that he had some things come up as well. Last minute, he couldn't come in. And not a big deal. We understand. Everything's understandable. But, me and Texas Wiles, the great hosts that we are, we didn't have a plan B ready. So we kind of did the little deal. We'd visit with you guys. We'd been talking about the episode was coming up. So we just figured we'd talk with you. But we're going to call this the official episode 4. Ain't going to be nothing much. I think Mike was wanting to get on Thursday, I think. And any of you guys down here in Texas know we had the big ice storm. My work, I was booked. Couldn't get out. We couldn't do it. So this didn't happen. So this is just going to be kind of a laid back episode. We're going to recap on a few things, talk about what's going on, take questions from the live chat. Really ain't doing nothing real crazy. So one thing I do want to start off with is spring. It is almost here. And what has it been, 2 episodes ago? We had old Mr. Al from Texas Wiles come on. And he was visiting with us. We got a kayak tournament coming up March 12th. If you're in the DFW area, you ain't going to want to miss it. It's going to be at Marine Creek. I'll show you a little flyer here real quick. Yes, sir. It's going to be good. He's going to have, big bass. Just to get into the tournament, it's going to be completely free. You don't have to do nothing. Just show up, sign in, and you're good to go. He's always got awesome prizes. I think last year when I was there, he gave away, I think, just one. I think the tournament before that, he gave 3 kayaks away, but he gave 1 kayak away last year at this certain tournament. A bunch of other stuff. Trophies. I think there was a drone. There was all kinds of stuff. Texas Wiles actually won a spinning reel. He didn't even catch a fish, and he won something. I mean, it was just being there. Your name's entered. You're in the raffle. It's going to be an awesome deal. Again, it's going to be at Marine Creek there in Fort Worth. If you're in the DFW area, I highly recommend checking it out. It doesn't cost you anything to get into it unless you want to get into big bass. So, and again, March 12th. Check that out. I'll probably be saying something about it again next week. Speaking about next week, got a buddy of mine, old Frankie, old Juan Francis. I won't say too much. I'll let him talk about it next week. But he had a lot of big things that's happened. He's going to be my guest next week. Going to visit with him. He's got a YouTube. It's called One Fish at a Time. I probably butchered that, but good guy. Real good guy. We had him on season 1. Yeah, I believe it was season 1. We had him on. Real awesome guy. He's kind of dipping into the kayak, and I'll just leave it at that. I'll let him talk about it. He's pretty excited. But yeah, guys, it's just going to be a pretty easy going little episode here. Again, running solo, you guys are going to have to deal with staring at my ugly mug for a little bit until Texas Wiles can get back here. Just see here. Okay. But yeah, well, spring is upon us, and that's what I wanted to bring up. I've got a few stories I want to talk to you guys about. We'll get to that a little bit later, but we've had this cold snap in Texas. I don't know about where y'all are at. So it's kind of threw the bass off a little bit, but hasn't thrown them off too much because the stories I've got to tell you this evening are insane. But I want to tell you guys, be getting ready to get them red colors up because pre-spawn is coming. It is going to be here before we know it. I've been looking at the weather. We've got great weather coming up. So it should get that water warmed up a little bit, get them bass going. So, and I think it was last episode or episode 4. Again, we had this cold snap kind of screwed them up, but Texas Wiles caught, I think, 2 bass. Well, I think it was 2-3 weeks ago. They actually already had egg sacs in them. And then this cold snap hit, and I'm sure it screwed everything up. But, I mean, it was about to be a real early pre-spawn. Gonna be good. Gonna be real good. But we'll talk about them stories in a little bit because, I mean, big things have been happening here in Texas. Big things. And it's insane. And that's kind of what I'm hoping with that Marine Creek. I personally have never done that great there, but I've heard a lot of stories and I've seen video of decent bass being pulled out of that lake. Last year was a big old bust, man. I think there was 2-3 people out of, I don't remember, 75, 80 people that fished that lake last year that caught fish. And it was just a terrible day. And I ain't saying that's how it's going to be this year, but that's how it was last year. And it sucked. But that's how it goes, you know. It's fishing. It's not catching. So I'm really looking forward to it. But, man, it would just be awesome to get on some of these fish that people are catching in Texas right now. It'd be real awesome because there is some people having awesome luck right now. I talked to my boss actually just the other day, and it wasn't no monster by any means, but I think it was a 5-6 pound bass he picked up. I mean, they're still cruising even with this weather snap we've had. They're still cruising. He was in a tournament, and I think he said he placed 4th is what he ended up placing. But I think he said he was like a 1/10 of a pound away from being 3rd place and getting some money. But that's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, I can't wait. But I've been hearing a lot about something. A-rigs. Any of you guys ever use them? I have never used an A-rig. And past couple weeks, that's what I've been hearing a lot of people using. And they are hammered. I don't know. I don't have one. Never used one. I've always wanted to try, just never used one. I'm curious if any of you guys have. But it seems to be working really good right now. Like I said, real decent fish. And I don't know, man. It's getting me that itch. You know, I want to get out there and I want to get it going. But it'll come in time. I guess before I get too distracted, let's talk about this giveaway we've had going. We have a giveaway that's been going on. Told you guys this before. I ain't trying to sound like a broken record. Everything we make on this show goes back into the show. I mean, that's how we've done all these giveaways, is all this money goes back in. And at the end of the season, we're doing a pretty big giveaway. I believe Shaybird, I believe is the name of it. It's a spinning reel combo. And, I mean, this thing is slick. I'll throw it up here on the screen for you guys. I mean, that thing is nice. I wouldn't mind having that in my collection. But we're going to be doing that on episode 10, probably. Let me rephrase that. I don't want you guys to quote me to that because that's usually what we shoot for, is about 10 episodes a season. If we ended on episode 9, I don't want you to hold me to episode 10. Say, well, Rooster said episode 10. No. At the end of the season, when we get closer, for sure, I'll definitely be letting you guys know. But all you got to do to win that is you have to go to the Wiley Rooster Boys YouTube channel. Can't be Texas Wiles, can't be Rooster Outdoors, can't be none of that. Has to be the Wiley Rooster Boy YouTube channel. You go there, leave a comment on one of the latest videos saying you want to be entered, you're in. And then at the end of the season, we'll do a drawing, so you get to win. The only rules we have on it, it has to be here in the U.S. Can't do international, I'm sorry. Cost of shipping is insane on a rod and reel. So that's the one rule. Well, two rules. Like I said, you got to go to that specific YouTube channel, and you got to be here in America. So if you want to win that cool little fishing rod, it's amazing. I can't say enough, but I really wanted, me and Texas Wiles both talked about how we really love to win it. But, it's kind of off limits. But looks like we're already about 11 and a half minutes into this, so we're going to go ahead and take our first break. We'll be right back.
So I want to take a second to talk about Anchor. Have you guys ever wanted to discuss certain topics with people on a broad scale, but you don't really know how? Well, that's where Anchor comes in. It is a podcast app that is 100% free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or the computer, whichever you prefer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else has podcasts. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. You just record, upload, Anchor will distribute it, and should you monetize it, you get paid for it. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So be sure to check out the App Store, download the free Anchor app, or go to anchor.fm to get started.
All right, so let's talk about a couple of these stories I had here. So the first one is going to be about last weekend here, and I apologize. I'm sitting here trying to read the article for you guys. Last weekend, though, it's already happened this year, but there's been multiple people that donate the share lunker. They catch legacy bass here in Texas, and they donate them to the share lunker. And it's a pretty cool program. It really is. They take these legacy fish, they keep them alive, and then they do selective breeding with them to try to produce more legacy, I guess what they say, fingerlings. And then wherever these fish come from, the more legacy fish that come out of a certain lake, the more fingerlings they get. But they go ahead and repopulate the lakes with these fingerlings. But last weekend we had two of them. You have to be 13 plus pounds, and we had two come out. I'm trying to get these guys' names so I don't butcher it because they deserve the credit, because these are some awesome fish. We have Mr. Montana Hand, got a 13.06 largemouth bass at a Possum Kingdom Lake, which is just 30 minutes from here. Let me see here. I will do something for you guys. Unfortunately for you guys listening on Apple and Spotify, I won't be able to see this. You just have to look it up if you really want to see it. And let's see here. I apologize. Sure. Okay, you should be able to see. So right here, this is that Montana Hand. Look at this thing, 13.06. That is a awesome bass. That thing is that's what we dream of, He caught that. It says last Friday is when he caught that one. And then we had another fella right here, this Johnny Smaldus, reeled in a 13.34 pound bass at Houston County Lake. And that was on last Saturday. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. What would you guys do with something like that? I really don't know what I would do. And I'd be stoked. I know that. But 13 plus pounds. And it's just insane. Absolutely insane. Like I said, in that Possum Kingdom, that fellow there, what was his name? Montana Hand. That's 30 minutes from here, There's a few other lakes, like I said. I think they said, I'd have to read the article. I believe they said there's been 12 or 13 bass already this year shared to the Share Lunker program. it's like I said, it's an awesome program. They do it for the fingerlings, and from my understanding as well, what if you so happen to be in this elite class to donate to them, or lucky enough, I don't know. Sometimes it's luck, but there's a lot of things that go with it. There's a taxidermist will actually give you a free replica mount of your fish. You get entered for a bunch of different prizes. I think one of the prizes is just an annual fishing permit, which, hey, that's pretty cool for catching a fish. I mean, you get this free stuff. I think there's a bunch of other things. There's like a $5,000 Bass Pro like a shopping spree, and there's a bunch of little raffles they do too with it. And I mean, it's just a really cool program. I honestly wasn't real familiar with it. It just happened to pop up in my feed, and my boss was actually telling me about it when I was telling you guys he caught that 5-6 pounder, and I wasn't real familiar with it. And it's a pretty neat program, it really is. I mean, I'm sure there's not too many people in it, but then again, they said there was like 12-13 people already this year. So, and it goes till April something is what they said, is the cutoff for it. They do it for the spawn, and I'm just trying to look real quick. I don't see it. I know it says it somewhere, but it was April something. I want to say it was like mid-April is when they do the cutoff on it. 13 plus pounders. You have to be 13 plus to be in this program. And there's already been like 12-13 people already this year. That is insane. Insane, man. Just words don't even describe it. I've got another story for you guys though that tops that one. But I'm gonna reveal that here in just a minute. Like I said, we're gonna do a kind of a short, quiet little episode here. Go ahead and get this last ad out of the road, and we'll talk about this next story.
Hey y'all, I wanted to take a moment to tell you guys about one of our sponsors. Not only are they one of our sponsors, but they are an incredible American company, and they sell fire starting gear. The name of this company is Bigfoot Bushcraft. Now, this stuff works exactly as it is advertised. You take one of those plugs, expose the fibers, one strike with that ferro rod, you got yourself a flame. A decent flame at that. And this flame will burn for 5 minutes or more. So you get that thing put on your tinder, and that's more than enough time to get yourself a sustainable fire. So be sure to head on over to bigfootbushcraft.com. Use discount code Wiley Rooster Boys, all one word, at checkout for 15% off your order. And every order placed with our discount code helps support our show. So get on over there, get you some gear, and get you a fire.
All right. So this next story, again, happened here in Texas. And there is this lake. It's called OH. What is it called? OH. Let me look it up. I butchered it. OH Ivy Lake. That's what it is. OH Ivy Lake. And there has been multiple double digits being pulled out of there last year, this year. I thought the lake was dead, to be honest with you, because it got fished hard. When they started pulling those double digits, I mean, there was people pulling double digits out in the same week, and it got fished real hard. Well, this just goes to show you there's still big bass in this lake. So this was just, I believe, this last Thursday. Yes, this last Thursday. This gentleman by the name of, what was his name? Brody Davis from Oklahoma caught this monster. And I will put it up so you can see because it is insane. This is the gentleman right here. 17.06. You heard that right. 17.06. They said this is the biggest bass that Sherlunker has received in like 30 years. 17.06. I mean, what would you do? And the funny thing is about this story is this gentleman that went down. He said him and his son went down. I guess Oklahoma had that ice on as well, so his son didn't have school. So they came down to go fishing. They knew about the lake. They've heard about it. They came down to do it. And the funny part about this story is it tells you he caught the 17.06 pound bass last Thursday. But the day before, last Wednesday, I think he said, let me find it. He had caught, I can't find it, and it's driving me crazy. He had caught, it was, here it is. The Wednesday before, the day before he caught the 17 pounder, he had landed a 14.79 pound largemouth. He is the first angler to submit 4 legacy bass to the Share Lunker program, which began in 1986. Boys, I'm nowhere even in this realm of what these fellas are. 2 double digits. 2. In 2 days. I don't know what to say. I really don't. The 14 pounder would be, I mean, I would be good. I could die happy. 17 pounds. And I believe they said the state record is 1808, I think is what the state record bass is. That shows you how much I know about largemouth. Because last I knew, I thought largemouth like records were 16, 17 pounds. Insane. 17. I gotta show you one more time. Look at this freaking monster, dude. Just look at that thing. Just out of this world. Out of this world, man. And I don't know. I was reading that yesterday and it blew my mind. All I got to say is A-rigs. A lot of these folks are catching them on A-rigs. Get your reds out. Get ready for that because maybe it could be you. Maybe you be hitting that next double digit. I don't know. I ain't never used an A-rig. I'm sure as heck going to be looking for them now. Really curious now because it's insane. You know, and I'm sure when you see videos and pictures of it, it's the people that do it. You don't see how many people use an A-rig and don't catch it. So, but it's definitely something I need to put in my tackle box to try. I don't know about you guys, but that's something I'm definitely going to be looking at. Yeah. Those were my 2 stories I wanted to show you guys. Just the insane things that are happening this week. And here I was thinking this cold snap had the fish all screwed up and everything, and then you have guys like this that are just going out and killing it. It's me and Texas Wiles both screamed like little girls when we caught 6 pounders. So I mean, I don't know what I'd do. I really don't know. I mean, it would be a great time. Anyhow, we'll get off of that subject. I do want to remind you guys, giveaway, fishing pool. Go to Wiley Rooster Boy YouTube channel. Leave a link or a comment down newest video saying you want to be entered. We'll get you entered. But the other thing we always talk about is Mr. Mike Slauson. He is our go-to knife guy. He has Scissortail Forge. We've told you guys this plenty of other times. We've got to reiterate. So we have I always want to say subscriber. It's not a subscriber. It's I guess I'm lost for words here. It's like a subscription. That's what I'm looking for. You can do 99 cents. You can do $5. You can do $10. You can do whatever. It's just a monthly donation, essentially, to the channel here. And all that money goes into things like the fishing pole giveaway or any of the other giveaways. The Mondo box giveaway we did just a couple episodes ago. You know, that's where that money goes. But specifically to the subscribers that actually donate the money and get on this plan. Once we hit 10, Mr. Slauson will be doing a custom Scissortail Forge knife for a giveaway for just the folks that are in the subscriber card. So something to think about. We're not asking you to do it, but there is a perk to doing it. So I do want to reiterate that. We got to talk about it every show. I don't have it right here, but I don't know if you can see right there. That's my little scissor tip forge knife there. It's amazing blades. I mean, it's one of a kind. You ain't gonna see another one. So it's a real cool thing to have. And they're a quality knife. You can go back and look at the survival challenge me and Texas Wiles did. You can just see how much he beat his up, and that thing is still sharp as ever, still holding good. Great knife. But again, guys, just want to say appreciate you watching. I know it's been kind of awkward. I'm here by myself trying to do this, trying to get things ready for the show, put stuff together. I promise you next week will be better. I know Texas Wiles, like I said, he loved to be here. Had some things in real life he's got to handle. Absolutely fine. We'll see him when he gets back. This has just been kind of one of them episodes. Last week was one of those episodes. It's just how it goes. So, again, next week we're going to have Frankie. He'll be my guest. He's got a YouTube. You guys will be able to meet him. You've seen him before. You know him. If you haven't known him, you'll get to meet him. He's a great guy. Real awesome dude. Introduced me to a lot of things. He's a good old veteran boy. So you'll like him. But we got a pretty interesting episode coming up next week. I think it'll be pretty fun. And yeah, it's going to be great. I'll quit yammering here and just jabber you on. So get off here. You guys have a good night. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate it if you all stayed to watch through this. So anyhow, boys, we'll see y'all next week. You have been listening to the Wiley Rooster Boys podcast. We appreciate your support. God bless.